A lot of people think you need ambition to build a wildly successful business and create that dream life for yourself. But I think we look at ambition wrong. The definition is a strong desire to do or to achieve something, typically requiring determination and hard work. Now, I agree with that. But people hesitate to do, to create this successful online business because they feel they aren't ambitious enough. They have all these priorities in their life. They may have a family, they may have a day job. So where is the time to do this? I think if you switch your thinking, you will see where your ambition actually is. Like, for example, people think I'm ambitious. I've been the sole provider for my family for nearly 2 decades, and I built an online business exceeding most people's expectations for success. But I did it because my ambition is to be lazy, or more fairly, to protect my time. I'm not lazy. I do what I need to do, but I want to protect my time. I want to do less work and get more out of it. I want the freedom to do what I want, when I want. That is my ambition. So, and it's been a theme in my life, all my life. As an employee, I worked hard and I was a good employee. But, I worked in the restaurant industry to start with, and it's an industry where you typically have to work weekends and holidays, but somehow I got out of it. I didn't want to. I wanted to have my time. Yes, those were times when I could make more money, but I didn't want to. There was an expectation that we worked it, but somehow I managed to convince my bosses to keep me off the schedule. And then, I worked for a government agency, and back then, you couldn't work at home. You had to come into the office. They did not understand this telework thing. But somehow I convinced my bosses to let me, stay home a day or two a week. Then I discovered the internet, and, that was like, oh, I can go, further with this, laziness, or whatever you want to call it, the ambition of laziness. And I did start out, and I started working too hard, many, many hours. And I realized, oh my goodness, I need to be smarter. I started to build a team of people. So I leveraged the work of others and provided opportunities to those people, which also gave them the opportunity for that freedom. I love that part, right? And I also, instead of focusing on building a huge audience, and this was before social media, and now everyone's still focused on building these huge audiences, being an influencer and all that stuff. I still did build a community, a large community, but it was a lot of responsibility. And I didn't want that. So I started to focus more on targeting customers rather than building large audiences. So I leveraged my time so that I could do less and get more. So if you frame it within your own goals, outside of your ambition to have a business, a successful business, what's important to you? And you be ambitious about that thing, I think you'll find more success.